I used to work in companies where they allowed me to play games a lot. Again, if you work smart, I think software jobs are really easy. You can probably finish up your work in 2 to 3 hours for the whole day, and you can play for 5-6 hours in the office, which was a very productive job life for me. But this is the interesting thing, dream job. Let me play games and get paid for it. Okay, a lot of people come to me telling me, hey, I play games really well, I want a job. What is the job you want? I'll do anything, I'll play games. Game designer, game tester. So there's so many things that people want to start off as, right? But it's a little hard. So I think this is the right mode. So work hard, build games. Ultimately, the target is your game should be out in the market, in the people's hands. That's when you'll get real feedback about your games, and you can say that you're part of the industry. And I love the fact that some people mentioned, right? Building prototypes. I think prototypes are nowadays proof of concept, prototypes, all of these alpha builds. There's so many words for it, but they mean that you're not launching. So launching games is really important. I think if you go to the prototype slide later. So I think this is really important. Okay, luckily I have my co-founder for this business plan of ours way back in 2008. Srinath is here. Okay, so we wanted to change the world. Okay, and from out of our apartment to Hyderabad. How did we want to do that? We wanted to create a gaming framework. We wanted to do game development. We wanted to create something like Facebook, fun games, the social part of it. And then we wanted to do exhibitions, events, TV shows, everything, just the two of us. So that's how we started off. And when we try to do something that big, you have these great ideas, right? You fit everything fits. So your solutions fit teenagers, students, adults, everyone. So you start off with a business plan saying, wow, now I'm going to change it. And then the operational or the execution things come up. I spent close to $1 crore of my pocket money, not pocket money, but my own money. And then I realized that, okay, doing that big needs an execution team. It's not just about plans and talks and stuff. You have to get down onto the ground and do the real hard work. And it's not just 2 people, 5 people, it's probably 100 people, 1,000 people work. Okay, so what I would suggest is dream big, keep that big vision in place, but understand what is the small part of it. Okay, use the word congregate. How many of you play games on congregate project? Nice. So, okay, why do you go to congregate? I mean, there are so many other portals as well.
It's a simple way, because I get to know the latest games in the past. It's like what are the latest games I get to play there.
Why do you go to congregate?
I don't only specifically congregate, I do all portals, but congregate looks more professional games. The games which will be more attractive and more fun based.
Anyone else has any other reasons for playing on congregate?
The only one I know. They marketed really well. I went there, it was awesome.
Okay, anyone else? Any other reasons? Okay.
You get feedback from people also there. It's like whatever game you are launching, you get feedback on what is good, what is wrong, you get to know whatever. So that's the good thing about it.
The reason why I was asking so much in detail about congregate is that I think armor games, max games, mimicry, predicting, there's so many. Okay. The one really good thing about congregate is they started as a multiplayer gaming framework. So the good CCGs or mostly multiplayer elements, right? They are very well connected in the congregate system, especially common points and all of those. And that multiplayer gaming framework is really good compared to all others. Most others are single player games. In congregate, you get to play the multiplayer ones, play with friends, challenge friends, all of those. So it's like a social network for multiplayer games specifically. And the reason why I use congregate is I think now is the world of specialists. I know that a lot of us think we can build games in any genre, any type, multiplayer, single player, mobile, iOS, Android, sub. Okay, yes, it's possible to do everything, but I think it's the world of specialists. Pick that one niche thing that you're good at or you want or you believe in and build on that. So if I were to build, I would probably have 10 companies or 10 verticals in a single company rather than focus on one specific aspect. Let's say the multiplayer game can be the best in the world. So that's on specialist. The second one is focus on the execution. Okay, especially for the guys who are in colleges or who are building their first set of games, focus on execution more than the big vision, big plan. Because all you need to do is go search in Google and say, hey, I want to launch my game in Android, and you'll get 60 app stores, you'll get so many easy stuff, right? To just do the launch stuff. The important thing is understand what is pipeline, what is the real pull factor for your game, and focus on that particular aspect. Because once your game launches, I think everyone is focused on this part. Okay, my pre-production, my production, maximum time around, I'll get a great game. But I think now is not exactly the time for publishers. So we're not going to rely on Sony or Microsoft to publish our game. Right? So you'll probably end up meeting someone who will just give you feedback on small changes on your game, and then you'll go publish it. So the important thing between launch and post-launch. Post-launch is when you have to product manage. You have to understand what's going right. If there are analytics, you know that out of the 10 features, probably 2 are no one's clicking on these 2. You either change them or enhance them, and whichever are the best ones, you try to monetize them. So there is a whole lot of stuff going on post the launch of the game, especially the mobile games. Okay, so to me, I think the real work starts post-launch. From the day of the launch is when the real battle. So slightly demeaning way earlier, because I think that was a phase in my own life. We built 38 game prototypes. Of course, our business model was that we build small games, we build small prototypes, and someone will come, let's say Nestle had come, they had asked to say, we like these 3 games already 30, build versions of versions for it. But advert gaming, I think right now there's even better potential in building proper games and launching them on mobile. So not just prototypes. So yeah, rather than prototypes, I think pick the good ones among them. I heard Rishi say that some of the best games that they have, that's the ones they're focusing on. Even King, I think, was a classic example. Right? They're close to 350 games. They picked 3 or 4 which would be the best. People would give a lot of feedback on, playing very passionately about, and they built all the stuff. Then, and then a very defining moment in my life was this game called Desktop Tower Defense. How many of you played it? Okay, nice. Whole game, probably there are better variants of tower defense, let's say Curse Tower Defense or all those. But this was a game in like, I think 7-8 years ago, which I used to play a lot. And I thought, wow. There is this website 18years.com, which is really addicting at that time, and they have so many tiny games, so many simple games, and it made me feel that you don't really need to go build a Fable or something really big, or you can probably build a small game which people like, and it can probably reach out to tens of millions of people. And yeah, a couple of my favorite games, Kingdom Rush and Clash of Religions. The reason why I mentioned these 2 is I don't know if you play Kingdom Rush. Kingdom Rush? Okay, thank you. So, Kingdom Rush is one of the best games I've played. Okay, and as a fan, I responded to the forums and I mailed their guys, and they said, hey, we are a 3-member team, we've built this game like 1 year of our time, and we didn't know that this would be such a big hit. There is another game like it, please do play it. Okay, they gave me this game. And this game is fun and simple. It was not a big hit until Kingdom Rush became a hit, and all the Ironhead games fans started playing this as well. This game would probably be very weak. Of course, the polished version might be a lot more, but these days they were more passionate about this small game than the huge hit that they had. So sometimes there are just small ideas which you like them very much, you try to play them a lot, and you build them over time. And I think mobile ecosystem, especially for those who are starting off, is a really good place to be in. Chota sa game banao, ensure that you have polished it enough that people won't give you 1 star for bad ratings and stuff. That's, you'll get real feedback. The next version can be the kick-ass variation that you want on top. So I think mobile ecosystem is Right? Okay. So this is a very contrasting slide. Okay. On the left is 8 games. Okay. There are some cool games, right? Let's say, I think that was Monkey Quest, then Vacuum, probably few good ones. But these are the games today. I think they will future testing. So almost 70% of them are really prototype kind of games. Okay, so you just polish it, put it out there, see that the first 10,000 users, what are they saying, what's the feedback, how do you polish your games and take it forward. And then this is India casual games page. I think there are less than 5 games in this top 16, right? Yeah, probably 5 games. The rest are apps or whatever, I don't even know if they're games. They are in the top categories, they'll probably be getting $20,000 or whatever. That's silly. So, there is a scope for making decent games, going on top and making a mark. That's something. So, a few minutes on, let me call it design diary and developer diary, okay? So, this is just to say my take on games of how, as a designer, I have been, as a developer, I have been in such. Okay, so I think the most important thing is not the ideation part alone. Okay, ideation is of course really important. Do think, dream, build great games. But after ideation, ensure that you have a prototype and you check the game. Put it on people's hands. There is this really interesting game called Two Fuse. Okay, it's a simple number game. And I like the way these guys went. They went, I think they were in Singapore and Philippines. They went on the streets. They called it Two Fuse Challenge. They gave some t-shirts and goodies away. But they had 4 iPads. They got people to sit down all day and challenge each other and stuff and see if it's fun. And they recorded these videos. And the game video in YouTube and Google Play itself is the same. The challenge for the video. And yeah, I think it's doing good. I think once you get some feedback, people say that, hey, I found this really hard, that really easy, this is not balanced, whatever, and you'll be able to enhance it. And that's really important because I think 2009, 2010, any bad game, whatever, unpolished game could have been a hit. Today is not the case. You have to make a good game. Good game is not just about 5 or 10 hour gameplay. It might be just 5 minutes. Probably people will just get onto the metro, play it for 5 minutes. But it's important that your game is polished. It doesn't crash. Things like those. You should bug the people off. Otherwise, I think you're set for it. And keep taking feedback. Never stop learning. I used to work in a company here in Bangalore for 7-8 months. I launched an Android game there. And I realized that we get close to 200 to 50 emails every day. We used to respond to every one of them. And most of them were suggestions. Some of the people were so passionate that they said, yours is the best game, it changed my life. That makes our day. That's really good. And yeah, as a designer, I put these 2 slides because I think these are games core to my heart. These are games that we build on in our startup. So if you see, let's say, Snake and Ladders game, you know that you can make 100 variants of the Snake and Ladders game. So my variant for a pharma company was, it was in a 3D world where if your character eats a lot, he becomes fatter and he can't move much and becomes slower, things like those. So as a designer, I put my heart and soul into concepts, but the importance of a team comes into play then because you need to get into a prototype. It's really important to at least have a prototype first, see what people are saying about the game, and then probably take it forward in full scale production and launch. Likewise, that's a game which I wanted to build as an RPG from strategy game. So this slide, we are missing a developer friend of mine called Ravi, who's unfortunately not able to come today. So his is typical college studio to gaming industry transition. So he started off building games. That's a game called Adrian. It won a contest way back in 2005. So that was a 3D RPG strategy game like Desperado and such. So a very minuscule version of it. So from there he started building small games in his free time. He used to work in Netherlands in a research organization and stuff. but now he's full time into game development. He's working for lead developers. What I understood from his journey is that he has a blog. He's probably made 30-35 games in the last 6-7 years, and web games. He used to send it to his friends for ratings, reviews, and I think that's a good passion, right? If you really want to build games, no one can stop. Right now, it's such an open world that you can even publish those games in the web. You can publish games in the web or mobile, and even if you're not trying to make money out of those games, if 100 of your friends say that it's a great game, that will probably give you the pleasure or the happiness. So, quick take on incubation cells in colleges. I've been part of one called Game Hub in Hyderabad. So I'll talk a little about that. So, it also gives an idea to people who are starting off as to how they can connect with colleges or incubation cells. I think there is a second talk which is totally about that. So I'll leave the more finer details to you. So there is a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Hyderabad, but I'm in Hyderabad, so that's a connect there. So Hyderabad basically has only these IT courses and IT master's degrees, IT MSc. So one of the interesting things that IIIT is looking at is they have the technology, they have the labs, they have the professors and all of this, right? So they're trying to build the next Google of gaming or apps and such from IIIT. So they do encourage a lot. So you can check a little more about IIIT.org. And what I liked, the best connect for me was government of Andhra Pradesh at that time, even now. So was really interested to help startups out. I think there is a startup village in Kochi, I think even I am Bangalore. So the government of India has finally decided that, hey, we're going to give startups a kind of push, and that's really good to me. What they've done is they've helped us build a small system which connects, tightly connected with the Vision Lab of Hyderabad. There are all these professors and students who build games, do graphics courses and such. Plus there are these startups which want to use the technology or use the expertise or use students and capabilities. So I'll go into this slide a little bit in detail. So there is